All right, so far we've been working on putting together a very simple prototype wireframe. Here we have one flow that we created, and basically this flow is meant for maze testing. It's a very simple design flow on a prototype file here in Figma. And the reason for that is that if you have a Figma make file and you try to use maze on it, you'll run into some serious issues. So it's basically better to create a light design file with basic wireframing, like in this case right here, where you can go ahead and test it. And here you could see we have flow 1, and the flow is very basic. It's just navigation, because again, we're testing this lightly with end users trying to use maze, and maze is really going to do the work of helping us mass test this basic design flow with at least, I don't know, 10 users maybe. But in any case, here it's a very simple UI. Most of these button works, although I kind of configured them a little funky here on purpose. In this particular flow, you can't click the icons themselves directly. You have to click the actual text itself to go over to the correct location and place. Oh crap, here I'm kind of getting cut off a little bit on my file. But anyway, so you can put save reflection. You can go and navigate through these as well. Here you can click the actual icons to go back to the main pages. So, you know, the whole point of this is to help test how easily navigatable this particular UI is. It's going to be on a mobile app eventually, and we just want the end users to be able to see if any of this feels good, feels intuitive. Anyways, that's the main gist. So yeah, this is the flow number 1. If I'm not mistaken, I think we should be good. We could create more flows, so for more testing. And here I was working off ChatGPT for designing the prototype. It was helping me troubleshoot an opacity issue that I ended up running into. So here we're gonna say, okay, fix the issue. It was simply opacity set to 10, which was causing the screen to basically disappear against black backdrop. All good now. We have one solid flow 1. Check my screenshot. Here we're gonna go ahead. We're going to give it a bit of a screenshot so it can see the kookiness of my flow. We can go back and going to go ahead and spit this out. Also, big thing to note, everything I'm doing is AI assisted, so it's to like just help you see how quickly you can use LLMs like Figma, things like ChatGPT, and other really cool like AI products. Nano Banana for image generation. You can use Figma Make for UI UX designs like this one right here, and then you can use ChatGPT to basically do everything, instruct you on how to use other systems you've never used before. So here I'm kind of demonstrating how I use AI in my workflow. I give it a screenshot. It helped me troubleshoot an issue. I'm like, all right, let's continue on. Should we create a second flow or simply work the user test on maze based off this flow? And here I told it, hey, assume the role of an expert in basically app development, be an expert in UI UX, and mainly that's it actually. And because right now in this particular portion of the project, we're designing a UI and UX. The backend has already been created. I'm piggybacking off of my Aurelius project, which I'll link to in this video as well, so that you guys can refresh yourself on that. But Aurelius is basically the spine for Carmen. Aurelius is a counter infrastructure janky ass tool that I created simply to try to create a cloud app native web browser, I guess, application or web application. So Aurelius was basically a proof of concept for an AI powered cloud native web application. And I basically I created a submission form where we capture reflections on a DynamoDB and integrate that with a AWS LLM service in Bedrock. And basically the model I chose is Haiku. And Haiku will basically generate a summary based on any reflection post that's captured. So in this particular case, we would just repurpose the spine of Aurelius and give it this sleek UI for the mobile experience, but still integrate an LLM to read the data that you'd be capturing through these flows. So in any case, what I'm demonstrating right now is more of the UI UX portion of it, but I just wanted to make this visible to you guys so you see how I am right now this is not like, this is a personal project, but professionally how I would go ahead and use LLMs to get my work done. So in any case, here I asked Chat, hey dude, do I need to build another flow or do we have enough to create a test? I imagine Chat's gonna say you have enough, but let's create another one just in case. Nope. Oh, look at that. Perfect. That confirms it. You've got a clean main flow, and that is enough. Do not create a second flow. For Maze, one clear starting flow is exactly what you want. There we go. Bingo. Multiple flows would just make this setup messier and increase the odds of importing the wrong starting point or confusing participants. Your current flow once starting on home is the correct setup for the usability test. So yes, move to Maze with this flow. Here's the next sequence. In Figma, click share, make sure access is viewable, copy the prototype link for the file flow. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start setting up in Maze. I'll see you guys over there. All right, so here I think we've successfully, desktop prototypes can't be tested on mobile. Okay, that's fine. I think this imported successfully, if I'm not mistaken. Never used Maze before, so I'm really kind of leaning on the chat right here to guide me through this. So right here, I'm just going to ask Chat, hey, are we, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Please examine screenshot and let me know if we are importing successfully and if we are ready to continue. Oh shoot, we are ready to continue. Okay. The one thing blocking you from going live this morning in Maze, desktop prototypes can't be tested. For now, you're almost ready, but you need to fix one study setting before sending it out. So what this means, Maze thinks your imported prototype is a desktop-sized prototype, not a mobile one. Since Carbon Flow is meant to behave like a mobile app, Maze is warning that participants on phones won't be able to test it properly. So here's the captain's diagnosis. What is good? Prototype imported successfully. Home is recognized as the starting screen. Maze is ready for task setup. What needs fixing? Device settings, study requirements. Block title, task, and description are still blank. I see. Okay, so yes, we are ready to continue after clicking this. So here's what to do. Click open study requirements. So we're going to go over here, open study requirements. And it says change allowed device to desktop only. I see. Preferably yes. Yes, please. Okay, that's totally fine. Yep, that works. So basically what chat is saying is that, hey, because this, I mean, you guys probably already understood all this, but all we're doing is removing tablet and mobile as the allowed options just to not allow anyone to try and open up this test on a mobile or tablet, because, you know, it'll probably have an issue there. And now, okay, let's okay. So it's saying do the desktop only right now and remove all the other things. Block title, we'll call it daily reflection flow. Oh crap. No, that's, yeah. Okay, sorry, this is, I'm realizing I'm not really saying much. After that, so the success criteria, so after that we add actual tasks, questions one by one. So yes. Okay. All right, just gonna let it know, okay, where we're currently at right now. Sorry, one of the things I do, and this is just, I don't know, maybe you guys do something way better than I do, but I just very quick and dirty take screenshots from my desktop and drag them over to the chat box so I can quickly say, hey, here is where we are at. Are we looking to set up a goal? Oh shoot, crap, man, sorry, I was looking at something else. Are we looking to set up a goal based or free explore based task type? And okay, so we're choosing goal based. Nice. Okay, so daily check-in, record how you feel today. So this is going to be a basically hit the reflection task, right? So once they hit the reflection task, we want to go to the prompt page right here, reflection. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's start testing. So here I'm only trying to test a very basic screen. So okay, copy share link, copy link. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna say okay, so basically it's just giving you a demo of how to go about it. So please share your, okay, so we're gonna get started. So complete a daily check-in and explore Carmen's reflection tools. In this task, record how you feel and write a short reflection, review an insight, check the calendar, and find the AI assistants. Move through the prototype. So let us go. We're gonna want to probably not do all this. So I'm gonna take a screenshot now to give it to AI. What we want to do is basically do a simple bam. Okay, mission complete. Look at that. And that was it. Obviously super janky. We're gonna do something a little better than that, but this is just to prove it. We're gonna create like 4 or 5 tasks, like, you know, go to this screen or go to that screen. Anyways. Okay, so now I get to go back over here. Now we get to go back over here. Results. See, here it has your path, where the heat was, just right here. I only clicked one area. Resolution, misclick rate. So it gives you on-screen metrics of people who are clicking everywhere but where you're supposed to go. Obviously, I knew where to go, so that was super easy. But for someone else, it would have clicked everything else that was wrong. And I'll do a prototype that's like kind of doing bad things, just so you can see how it looks like. But for now, that should show you more or less like how this works. And see, mission, this whole thing here. Basically, we built out just one simple task because I had never used Maze before myself. So here we were able to build a task. Now we're going to do another task. It's another prototype test, basically. We're just adding a bunch of blocks. So yeah, we're creating a series of task entries and that are goal-oriented or goal-based, for getting the end user to more or less try to achieve a certain outcome. Now, keep in mind that because this is a super light wireframe and I just kind of mocked it up off of a light Figma design file prototype file, because the Figma make files that might be heavier and the interactivity are still not completely accepted by Maze. So I had to manually wireframe my screens, create these very basic flows, because again, a lot of features and functionalities aren't built out, just to get a user testing going at the end of it. So just wanted to remind everyone of that. Actually works. We're just gonna do the window. We're gonna share the window. Got it. Start test. We think aloud. All good. We continue. Here's where we are hoping that, it finally loaded. So we're getting started. The goals are here. So complete a daily checklist and explore Carmen's reflections in the task tool. So we need to write a reflection, which we can't do because this is a lightweight prototype. We would crash it otherwise. But here, for example, we reflect on this. We completed one mission. Let's just say we did decide to go ahead and try to write an entry from here, right? Again, we can't type anything right now because this is just a test field. But if we were to type something and then save a reflection, it would take us to the insights page. And the insights page basically just would give you like a dashboard of anything that might be of interest. So these are all lightweight prototypes. Of course, this is a prototype. This isn't by any means the real deal. What the visualizations or data points are kinds of insights you would get as a user. But a big part of this will be to be able to have a chat assisted bot to use natural language to sift through your journal or to extract this insight as well. So now we're going to examine the calendar review feature, right? And here's basically open the calendar and review your cycle. So this is a little wonky right here. You can't just click the icon. I should have made it that way, but I didn't. So you have to kind of catch the actual calendar button. So we're going to see probably terrible results on this one because everyone's going to be clicking around or on the icon and they won't be able to go. Maybe they might even fail. So we'll see. The whole point is to leave some things sort of sticky just to see how people interact with it. But yeah, so the last step is AI assisted discoverability. And this is one of the ones I decided to add because the current setup, again, this is meant to be for mobile. So I would assume that the actual icon here would be closer to the corner and a little bit more obvious. But I just think it's not too obvious. It blends a little bit. So I want to see if people could actually discover it, right? If people don't go clicking around everywhere. And I'm clicking around here on purpose because I want the heat map to track everything. But basically, eventually, if you find this icon and you click on it, bam, that's it. It would open up a little chat bot there. So that's it. This is the testing. I'm assuming Maze captured literally everything that I was walking through right now that I'm recording through this screen. So what we can do now is go back to our study. We can refresh it. We can go ahead and view that the next study here, number 2, got processed, started 2 participants who joined, and we could probably look at reports related to this. So let's open up Carmen reports. Bam, look, complete prototype test. This was great. We had a few misclicks. Look, 66% misclick on the reflection entry, and I think it's because I probably, oh crap, I realize I'm leaving this off. So basically here I could see my tasks. Once I click on report, I could see each one of the tasks. This one I got 100%. We clicked it right. This one right here, we got it 100%. We clicked it right. This one was the save the flow. I'm assuming a lot of people would probably try to type something on the reflection entry. My bad. I think I had a duplicate here. Anyways, here we had a bunch of little mistakes, 66%, but we still had a good success rate. And then here we saw the calendar. We did everything right, although I'm assuming to see high misclick rate because you have to click the actual text itself and not just the icon. So a lot of people are probably going to be clicking the icon. We'll see. And then this one, 92% misclick. I was clicking all over the place except for where I was supposed to. Eventually I got here, but if we see the unfinished, let me see if I could. I don't know if I totally like this report, but yeah, I thought there was like heat maps or something. Maybe it's in a different place, but here in the results area, we could probably see a little bit more in depth what went wrong. Maybe reach. I don't know. You'll have to play around with this. In any case, I think this might have been because of the. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Basically, just gives you. Oh crap. Okay. In any case. Yeah, you can see stuff here, paths, diagrams, or you can even see mission unfinished or success, view heat maps. Here, I tried clicking here, I tried clicking here. You can just see a bunch of cool stuff. Like Maze gives you the ability to very quickly assess what is working and what isn't. Here I found it right away, but let's look at the one that I didn't, the AI assistant discoverability. If we go ahead, we find our main card right here, click over to path 1 and look at the heat maps. You can see all the places I mishit until I eventually found the right one. So this is how useful this tool is. It'll show you how the users are interacting with the UI itself, what they're clicking, what they're misclicking, and it'll also record and transcribe for you. It could even give you sentiment checks. And the more they think aloud, the more they're like navigating and thinking like, oh, this is confusing, or oh, this isn't good, the more of a rich mine of data you will have to be able to evaluate the effectiveness of your user experience and interface and the pleasantness ultimately, because it does give you sentiment checks. But in any case, you guys can now see how you can use things like Maze, things like Figma, things like ChatGPT to wire up a user experience and test it really quickly within like an hour, assuming you've configured this. And I've never used all these tools in tandem before. This is my first time kind of figuring it out on the spot, but I did map out what I was supposed to do. And obviously, as you guys could see, I've been assisted by ChatGPT almost the entire time through. So yeah, bunch of good stuff that you could do now, and I'm looking forward to building out more of Carmen and actually fleshing it out and being able to use larger prototypes and testing them out. But yeah, that's it for today, folks. Thank you.